Welcome again to Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. This is my initial reaction to Fulham's loss to Manchester United once again at Craven Cottage. They lose 1-0. Very disappointing loss, but I'm starting to think that this is a typical loss against Manchester United when Fulham play in the Premier League lately at Craven Cottage. And I watched it with a coworker. He's a Manchester United supporter, and he told me after the match was over, he says, "Listen, Russ, if I wasn't here, I probably would have fallen asleep in the first half the way that that went." And he was not very impressed with Manchester United. And I'll share my thoughts on both clubs in probably the next 10 to 15 minutes. But very disappointed by the loss, very disappointed by the performance, honestly, because this team was there. They were there for the 3 points. I'm talking about Fulham beating Manchester United, and they simply could not get it done. And this is why they will be mid-table. I've made the argument, have a shot for Europe, but you can't be losing to a team that is struggling like this, to a team that is having a very hard time finding out who they are with an identity, playing a formation that doesn't suit them, and Fulham lose 1-0. Everything that I just said, all the advantages going into the match were with Fulham. A manager that just wanted to play a certain way, do what we do. Marco had to have been very prepared. The players looked prepared, but they simply did not do enough to score a goal. Half chances in the first half. Second half, obviously, you have some opportunities, but they didn't deserve anything from it. And they deserved what they got, because Manchester United, anyone that watched this match can't go away thinking, wow, I'm very impressed with Manchester United. What you have is a team that got the 3 points, and you got to hand it to them. They found a way to get the 3 points, and Fulham found a way to not do enough to get anything from it. So that's on Fulham, because they left themselves that opportunity for Manchester United to pounce. They did. They offered next to nothing up until the point that they got their first shot on target, which was a goal, which was a deflected goal. And I'll be sharing my thoughts on that in this quick episode. I do want to mention that we will have a post-match show on Monday. So that will be available to you. It'll be a full show. This is just an initial reaction to a very disappointing loss for me. I'm very upset by this loss, but like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm used to it. 3 losses very similarly, different times of the match, but in the second half, Fulham find a way to lose to Manchester United. And I'm just going to share this comment. I don't know if this is true, but I was thinking about it after the loss. The worst Manchester United ever. I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far, but that to me was just a terrible, terrible loss. I'll just share this for my friend Black, White, and Fred. United were terrible. We were toothless. Spot on. There you go, Black, White, and Fred. As always, you are spot on. And they got what they deserved, which was absolutely nothing. Very frustrated, very upset. But you know what? I've seen it before, so I'm kind of used to this against Manchester United. Yes, we got the victory at Old Trafford last season, but hey, we lost at Old Trafford late in the match earlier in the season. Now we do it again. And good teams find ways to win. Very good teams. I don't know what Fulham are right now. I think that they're an average team. That's who they are. They are a mid-table team. Table doesn't lie. They're 10th. That's fine. I'm going to be wrong on my prediction, and that's going to be that. But again, I'll just share one more time just some comments. This is from Gary Cooper. Unbelievable. I can't understand how lackluster we were. The only person who deserved to be on that pitch was Adama. And what the hell was Castagna doing? Okay, so follows that up with no pressing. Why didn't we sign Justin Kluivert? I think I understand that, my friend, because Justin Kluivert is lighting it up. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time. Like I said, I will have a full post-match show. So let me just get to it and just go through my first half analysis. And when you look at it, Fulham were by far the much better side, created some really good opportunities down the left. And what was very early on showed itself was that Fulham had this advantage. The way that United were playing, that left-hand side was wide open for Robinson, for whoever was with him down that left-hand side of Iwobi. They had joy down there. And Iwobi had a couple of shots on target, but I will tell you, I've been impressed with Robinson's season so far, but I noticed it in the last couple matches that his crossing has been going downhill a little bit. And boy, did it go downhill in this match, because Anthony Robinson got himself in some very good areas and his crossing was just poor, which is called what it is. He's had a great season, but in this match, crossing certainly not good enough. And we just saw Fulham get into all these good areas, but they could not get that goal. Like the comment that I just shared, toothless. And I think that's the best way to describe it. But they were the better side in the first half. On top of that, though, you're looking at it and thinking, what's going to happen in the second half? Because they could not get that goal. They were getting themselves in good positions. They had some shots on target. But really, it still was not good enough. And they left themselves open to what happened in the second half. So I'm now going to go to the second half. And when I look at the second half, the first thing that stood out to me is that very early on, you had United picking it up a little bit. And I'm thinking, Fulham were definitely not at it to start the second half. You do have Harry Wilson going off injured, and I do hope that he's okay. But even before that, Fulham were not in a good gear at that point. They were basically treading water, I thought, to begin the second half. And we've seen this many times. The beginnings of the second half aren't usually Fulham's strong suit, and it showed itself once again. So as the second half began, there really wasn't much in it. And it's going to lead up to me talking about the goal from Manchester United. They didn't offer that much whatsoever. In fact, that was their first shot on target. But if you ask yourself, and they're going to be excited that they got all 3 points, and congratulations for them getting all 3 points. But that second half was probably worse than the first half. I'm just talking about the play, because the play was bad from both teams. But it allowed Manchester United to get an opportunity, which they got. And that's going to lead to talk about the goal from Manchester United. And Fulham supporters, I recommend you watching this back, even though it will be painful, because this was a deflected goal from Manchester United. There's a goal, and I spelled that wrong, but it was a deflected goal. And good for the Manchester United player, because he celebrated like he won the World Cup, but that was deflected off of Sasa Lukic, unfortunately. And that's how the goal went in the back of the net. So Fulham are down at that point 1-0, and I'm thinking, how did we get here? How did Fulham get here? But I've seen this movie way too many times. So for me, I'm thinking they're not going to get the equalizer. They're certainly not going to get it. Well, I just want to mention this. Before I talk about Fulham almost getting the equalizer, let's talk about, why do they come alive after the Manchester United goal? This is the thing that really frustrates me about this match. And even the announcers that I was listening to, John Champion and Graham Rousseau, were talking about, why weren't Fulham playing this the entire match? Why did all of a sudden did they show this urgency? Well, they were down a goal. So all of a sudden they're showing this urgency on the front foot, creating opportunities. And they actually had a very good one. From a corner, Anderson's header gets cleared off the line. It looked close. I thought it was in the back of the net, but give the kid credit from Manchester United. He did clear it, and it was not a goal. And unfortunately, after that, you have the disallowed goal. It could have been 2-0, which seemed very harsh. But thankfully, VAR stepped in. He was marginally offside. And then Fulham went down to the Manchester United side, couldn't really create much. Listen, you had some opportunities from Rodrigo Muniz, Adama Traore. You had some players that were offering something, okay? But it certainly just wasn't good enough for Fulham Football Club, and they didn't deserve anything from it. And this is who they are. They're mid-table Fulham, and that's who they're going to be this season, and that's what's frustrating about this. I want better for them. But until that they can show that they can beat a team like this, that honestly, they're a better team, the way that they're playing, style of play, but it's still a talented team from Manchester United, but they did what they had to do to stay in the game, get an opportunity, and they scored. So in the end, they won the game. Whether I think that the better performance was another team, doesn't matter. It's not about the performance. It's about the score. 1-0 to Manchester United. They win the match. Coming up next to end this quick episode, I'm going to share my final thoughts, and I'll be mentioning what's coming up soon on Cottage Talk. Okay, to end this quick episode of the show, I just want to mention that I will be having a post-match show on Monday, and I will have much more content throughout the week. I've been doing a show each and every day for the month of January. I'm going to continue to do that. If you have not watched it, please do check out our interview with Mickey Adams. It was tremendous. Please check out our discussion on the ticket situation for Fulham. I'm going to continue to give you the best content I can possibly give you. I have some great co-hosts that join me. I'm lucky to do it with them, and we're going to continue to push the needle when it comes to content on Fulham, and I'll have more interviews and everything I can. I love Fulham. This defeat obviously bothers me, but we push on. We love Fulham, and we're going to continue to give you the best content we can. And I'll be back Monday night with another show. But that's going to do it for this episode. My name's Russ Goldman. Thank you, as always, for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, part of the Talk Sport Fan Network.